So this is a quick review of my, I hope I'm saying it correctly, Kuoe that I recently bought. And the reason why I sometimes do these reviews is that if you're anything like me, I go on YouTube and I put, recent upload in the filter if I'm interested in looking at something. And it really helps me when other people do this. So it's just a bit of, sounds kitschy, but it's a bit of like giving back to the community. So a quick look at this Kuoe Old Smiths, and what I thought would be useful, because it's the sort of thing that I used to look for, is to compare it against three similar sized watches. So first off, this is a 35. So one of the things, when you're looking at the watch and you're thinking, oh, is that too small? I like the vintage aesthetic. I quite like the vintage vibe in watches. And just to put all this into context, you have got here 35, 36, 38, Seagull 1963, and a 39, 35, 36, 38, 39. And if you're going to talk about the size, first off, I would argue that actually the smallest looking watch there is probably the proper Smith's 36, and that the 35, just because of the open dial, is probably coming in terms of how it appears as bigger, even though it's a 35. So things I like about this, things I like about it are, I like the vintage look. Yep, that's my thing, quite enjoy that. I quite like the fact that it's 100 meters waterproof with a screw down crown. And it just means, every day, I'm wearing it in the shower, or I'm washing the car or washing up or whatever, compared to this, which I would not take anywhere near water. I wouldn't even take it in the shower room where it gets steamy. So that's good. I like the domed mineral glass. Now it's mineral, not sapphire. And I can only guess, but I don't know, that maybe the mineral aspect of it makes it easier to get that dome at the budget that you're paying for. So I do really like the Smiths. I am not knocking the Smiths in any shape or form, but the Smiths has a crystal sapphire. So A, you can see that milky ring. B, again, it's all cost. That is a very flat sapphire. So that is taking up a little bit of real estate, which is potentially why this one does not wear like a 35, because there's no milky ring and there's no sort of very obvious edge to the finish of the dial. So I like the domed mineral. What I like about that also is the light play that you get. I like the way it just distorts stuff a little bit. So that is pretty cool. What else do I like? The polished hands. So we've got, look, silver polished hands, but in the right light, you can get this sort of black polish effect. So sometimes they look like they've got a black outlay, sometimes outline, sometimes it goes silver, black. So I like the way it plays with the light. Very nice. And finally, hard to see, but the indices are applied. And again, in the right light, there's shadows playing. And it just has a really nice way of catching the light. So pretty cool watch. Things I don't like, The loom is not great, and it's not. And something like the Smiths from Time Factors, the loom here is so much better. Loom here, pretty poor. I upgraded my purchase, and for an extra 30-40 quid, you could get Super Luminova on both the dial and the hands. Am I right about that? Can't remember now. But you can upgrade. But even so, yeah, loom's pretty poor. Much better. Things I don't like. So I'm torn about the crystal. The fact that it's mineral is good in that it allows them, I guess, I'm not a watchmaker, to create this dome without any milky ring. So that is a good thing. I suppose the downside of mineral is that your twixt and tween perspex and plexiglass and crystal glass. So with this, if I do put a scratch in it, that is super easy to polish out with a bit of polywatch, and I've got an Omega Speedmaster with a plexiglass as well. And any marks you get in the Omega, you can just polish out straight away. And this. Now, you're falling between two bar stools a little bit here, because I think you're going to struggle to polish out of mineral glass, but it is going to scratch potentially more easy than a proper crystal. So, yeah, take your pick, take your pick. Things I don't like, 19mm lug space. I haven't got a problem, as you can see. I quite like Erica's Originals. They're really super comfy. I quite like it on here. It gives it a nice sort of 1950s, 40s sort of military field watch vibe. I quite like that. I like the way the black plays with the black. But 19mm if you're fussy about your straps. Things I don't like about this, it wasn't particularly accurate. When I got this, it was maybe plus 15, maybe. So I have taken the back off it, and I've sort of regulated it myself, and I've got it down to about plus 6, plus 7, and that is as good as I can get. There is no sort of micro adjust. You literally are tweaking. I'm not a horologist. You literally are tweaking the little lever thing that's got the hairspring on it. So really hard to, because you move it and whoop, you've moved it a millimetre, so you try and move it a half a millimetre. So it took me a couple of days of trial and error, and the best I can get is down to about plus 7. But that's pretty good. You know, if you set it running, I don't know, 10, 15 seconds slow, then, I don't know, 4 or 5 days later, you might need to stop it again. But, you know, it's good for 4 or 5 days with that sort of error. So, yeah, nice. So, again, 35, 36, 38. It's not much in it, is there? 39. And we'll give you a quick wrist shot. Hang on, let me. So I do like the Erica Original straps. I think they're super, really comfy. And I just really like that. I love the small size. I love the vintage size. So a 35mm watch, but, you know, it's a 7-inch wrist, about 17 centimetres. And, yeah, I like it. I like it. There's that light play from black to silver. So, yeah, cool watch. Yeah, what else can I say? Nice. So very quickly, just before I finish, here is a Speedbird from Time Factors. And this is one of my favourite watches. It is super accurate, so running at Kosk. So a little bit flat on the crystal, you know, reflects a little bit of light, but cracking tool watch. All brushed, 100 meters waterproof, magnetic cage. It's a SW200 movement. So yeah, I love this watch. Absolutely corking watch. There we go. That is it. Good, nice watch.